Modern outdoor gear promises lighter weight, higher breathability, and laboratory-tested performance. Yet when conditions turn brutal and time stretches from days into weeks, many of those advantages quietly disappear. Long before membranes, coatings, and technical marketing language, explorers, soldiers, hunters, and laborers relied on waxed fabric to survive rain, wind, abrasion, and neglect. Not because it was fashionable or advanced, but because it endured. Waxed fabric did not just keep people dry, it stayed functional when everything else failed. To understand why waxed fabric outlasted much of today's outdoor gear, you have to look at how it was actually used, abused, and maintained in real environments, not ideal ones. From the first minute of exposure, survival clothing is tested by more than weather. It is tested by friction, mud, fire, salt, cold, and human error. Waxed fabric was designed with that reality in mind. Waxed cotton and canvas were not engineered for peak comfort. They were engineered for work. Sailors wore it because salt water destroyed untreated cloth. Farmers used it because barbed wire, thorns, and tools shredded lighter fabrics. Soldiers relied on it because it resisted sparks, embers, and constant abrasion from packs and webbing. Modern synthetic shells are, well, thin by design. They depend on these microscopic structures to function. Now, those structures perform well until, they're compromised. Waxed fabric, on the other hand, has no membrane to delaminate and no coating that peels invisibly over time. Its water resistance comes from saturation, not from a surface treatment. When wax fills the fibers, water really has nowhere to go. This is exactly why waxed garments can look battered and still work. Wear does not automatically mean failure. Rain does not fall evenly. It blows sideways, pools, freezes, and seeps into seams. Waxed fabric excels here because it sheds water through mass and density rather than vapor control. The fabric absorbs the wax, becomes heavier, and tightens under moisture. The wetter it gets, the more resistant it becomes. Modern waterproof breathable shells depend on maintaining a delicate balance between moisture transfer and barrier integrity. Dirt, oils, and repeated flexing disrupt that balance. In cold or wet conditions, breathability often becomes irrelevant. So, survival really depends on blocking wind and external moisture first. Waxed fabric does exactly that. This is actually why Arctic and maritime workers continued using waxed outerwear long after lighter options appeared. When wind and spray never stop, durability beats breathability every time. Waxed canvas resists tearing because of fiber thickness and weave density. It does not fail catastrophically when punctured. Small tears do not spread easily. In contrast, many modern fabrics rely on ripstop patterns to prevent tearing, but once coatings fail, water intrusion follows quickly. Fire resistance is another overlooked factor. Waxed fabric does not melt. It may scorch, but it does not fuse to skin like synthetics. In military and frontier contexts, this really mattered. Campfires, sparks, and heated equipment were constant threats. Clothing that survived fire exposure without becoming a hazard was, honestly, a survival advantage. So one reason waxed fabric kind of fell out of favor is that, it requires maintenance. It must be re-waxed from time to time. Modern gear, on the other hand, often markets itself as maintenance-free, but honestly, that claim can hide something else: planned obsolescence. Once those coatings degrade, you're just expected to replace the whole thing. Waxed fabric, by contrast, assumes that the user will actually care for their equipment. Re-waxing restores its function fully and, no factory is required at all. Heat and wax are enough. This meant garments could last decades, even generations. In survival contexts, repairability is not optional, it is essential. This maintenance culture also created awareness. Users understood their gear, noticed wear early, and adapted behavior accordingly. That awareness itself improved survival outcomes. Waxed fabric performed in rainforests, tundra, deserts, and at sea. Its adaptability came from simplicity. It did not rely on specific temperature ranges or humidity conditions. It blocked wind. It resisted water. It withstood abrasion. That baseline performance held across environments. Modern gear is often specialized. What works in alpine cold may fail in wet heat. What breathes well in dry air may saturate instantly in humidity. Waxed fabric was not optimal in any single environment, but it was adequate in all of them. That generalist approach kept people alive. Weight, comfort, and marketing drove the transition. Consumers preferred lighter, quieter, more flexible clothing. Industrial production favored synthetics. Training time decreased. The expectation shifted from long-term durability to short-term performance. In recreational use, this works. In extended exposure, it often does not. The decline of waxed fabric was not due to failure. It was due to inconvenience. Waxed fabric is not a replacement for all modern gear, but it fills a critical gap. It really excels where abrasion, fire, constant moisture, and, even neglect are expected. It works when maintenance resources are, limited. It rewards skill and awareness rather than dependence on technology. Understanding why waxed fabric endured helps separate marketing claims from survival reality. History shows that materials built to be maintained, repaired, and abused consistently outlast those built to be replaced. If this kind of historically grounded survival knowledge matters to you, subscribe to the channel and share it with others who understand that durability, not innovation alone, is what keeps people alive.